Hello, welcome to Cloud Learning channel. In this module, we will talk about Azure Cognitive Search. In this module, we will learn what is cognitive search and what are the primary workloads inside a search service, and why do we use a cognitive search and how to start it. So I will go some high level what this Azure Cognitive Search, and I will give you an architectural diagram so how it works, and then I will show you guys how to create an Azure Cognitive Search Index in the Azure portal. So technically, I'll be deploying Azure Cognitive Search, and then I will create an index. Um, and after that, I will show you I will take a sample data set that is hotel data set in Azure that is provided by Microsoft Azure. And I will show you that how this cognitive search index works. Before I go to that portal, before I go to deploying that cognitive search, I will just talk about what is this cognitive search. Uh, Azure Cognitive Search is a cloud service that gives developers infrastructure, APIs, and tools for building a rich search experience over private, heterogeneous content in web, mobile, and enterprise applications. So we know that search is the foundational to any app application that surfaces text to users, where common scenarios include catalog or document search or online retail apps or data exploration over proprietary content. So when we create this search service, we will work with most of the capabilities search engine for full text search over a search index containing user-owned content, and programmability through REST APIs and client libraries in Azure SDKs. And let me give you some uh, architectural diagram. So here, the Azure Cognitive Search works. So on your right, if you see that, right, that is our application. So where it says your app, and that is our application. And if you see that the first row, that collect user input. So it collects all the user input, whatever we enter on our application side. Then, the query request, and then it goes through the query engine. So, and you can see that indexes and other structures, and then it goes to indexing engine, and then on your left we can see that your content, where our data located in the cloud or behind a firewall, and then it retrieves all data and then send it back to application, where we see that under query request we can see query responses, and then formulates and sends request, and it handles responses a result set, a single document. So this is the how it works, the Azure Cognitive Search. So architecturally, a search service sits between the external data stores that contain your unindexed data and your client application that sends query requests to a search index and handles the responses. So let's talk about what are the primary workloads inside this search service. So there are two. One is indexing and other one is querying. And as I mentioned earlier, so I will show you how to create these and how to query and how it works. So I will show it to you guys using Azure portal. So let me complete these two very quick, indexing and querying. Indexing is an intake process that loads content into your search service and makes it searchable. In a databases, we use index to improve the query performance. In a similar way, this index works. Internally, inbound text is processed into tokens and stored in inverted indexes for fast scans. And we can upload JSON documents or use an indexer to serialize our data into JSON. And let's talk about querying. Querying can happen once an index is populated with searchable text, when our application sends query requests to a search service and handle responses. So all query execution is over a search index that we can control. So once I give you an example, then you get a better idea how this index and querying works and what is this cognitive search about and how it can help. Um, Let me talk about why we use cognitive search. Then I will move to Azure portal and show you guys how to deploy this cognitive search. So the Azure Cognitive Search is well suited for the application scenarios like, where easily implement search related features, relevance tuning, and filters, synonym mapping, and autocomplete. And it transform large undifferentiated text or image files or application files stored in Azure Blob Storage or Azure Cosmos database into searchable chunks. So let me move to Azure portal. I'll show you how to deploy this cognitive search and import data and create index and query. And I will take hotel data for this exercise. I'm in the Azure portal now. So if we want to deploy a cognitive search, so I will go to search and here I will just say Azure search. Just click on Azure search and enter. So here we see all the applied AI services, and on your left you can see Immerse Reader, Matrix Advisor, Video Analyzer, and Cognitive Search. So just highlight the Cognitive Search and click on Create. So now we are about to create a search service, and we need to choose a resource group name. I will just say resource group 01. For now, this is just a demo purpose. Like, if you have some requirement that you need to implement it your organization, but consider all the naming standards and the location and pricing tier, everything. This is just a demo purpose. And here I need to select a name. I will just say Azure Cognitive Service 01. And the location, I will select East US to deploy this service. And here you can see that the pricing tier, so you can change the pricing tier if you want, you can select the free one as a $0, but storage is 50 MB. But I'll just choose for now I just a standard uh, and go to next scale. And here you can see that the search units, you can keep increasing the search units if you want. So, and here you can see that replicas distribute workloads across the service, and Microsoft guarantee 99.9% availability for read operations with 2 replicas, and for read and write operations with 3 or more replicas. But since this is a demo, I'll just select one, and here you can see that it is not availability. We don't see that 99.9% availability if I select one. And the partitions allow scaling of document counts as well, foster the data ingestion by spanning or index over multiple units. So I will keep it as one for now and move to next tab. And then here I can see endpoint connectivity, public. This is exercise. So I select just public endpoint connectivity, and I will skip the tags and review create. Everything looks good here. Resource group, location, service name, everything looks good. And I will create this cognitive search. So it doesn't take long. This service, deploys very quick. You see that it didn't even take a couple of seconds. So now I will go to the cognitive search, and here you see all the options: add index, import data, search explorer, everything. So let's see if we have any indexes already created in cognitive search. We know I just created this cognitive search service, but I don't think any index is available. But if you want to verify, if any index is already created in your existing service, just go to that service and click on indexes. And here you see that no indexes were found. That means no indexes exist in this service, but you can check any existing services and see if any indexes available by selecting these indexes. Now, what I will do, I will import the data. We need some data to create index and a query. So I will select connect to your data. So you can see here the data source. You can connect Azure SQL database, Cosmos DB, SQL Server on Azure Virtual Machines, ADLS Gen 2, table storage, blob storage. You see everything here. Azure database for MySQL, but these are all under preview. But hopefully they'll be available soon. But they're still working on it. Microsoft, if it says preview. So for now, I will just use the samples that I have two sample data sets available here. One is real estate, a US sample that is existing SQL database, and other one is hotel sam that exists in Cosmos DB. Looks like, let me select the hotel sample and click on next, add cognitive skills. And everything looks good. I will just leave default and skip to customize target index. And here you can see that we see many options on your on the left. You see on my cursor field name. We just use that hotel data set, and we have the fields available: hotel ID, hotel name, and hotel description, and hotel category, and the last renovation date when they renovated hotel last time, and how the rating for that hotel based on the price or based on the customer reviews, and also address of the hotel and the location and how many rooms. So it has all the information. Now, like if you want to uh add any retrievable, filterable, sortable, we can do that. Let me see what is retrievable means. Retrieval means that it shows up in a search results list. So we can mark individual fields as of limits for search results by clearing this checkbox. So let's say if I don't want hotel name to retrievable again, I can uncheck this. So I can select it, and also you can delete it. So you can just create your index based on your requirement. And the key is the unique document identifier. So it's always string and it is required. And you see that the key, that is a unique document identifier, and this is always string and it must require. Okay, let's talk about the other fields here, other options here. What is filterable, sortable, and face table? So all these filterable, sortable, and face table determine whether fields are used in a filter, sort, or factored navigation structure. So you can always, let's say, I do not want this category face table, so I'll just uncheck it. For now, I will keep it everything default. And remember, storage requirements don't vary as a result of our selection. Okay, so now I will go to next one. So here you can see that key. This is the one I'm talking about. It is a unique document identifier. So let's create this indexer. Now we keep this name as the hotel sample indexer. You can change it if you want, different name. You can do it anything, but for now, I will just keep it default and then schedule once. And description, you can enter any description if you want any description for this index. You can add it here. I'll just leave it empty for now and submit. So now we see that our index is created. And let's see, once our index is created, and then I will show you how to monitor the progress. And if you want, provide feedback to Microsoft, it helps, to improve the Azure product. So imports data, we didn't import it, but I'm not sure and how valuable being customized your index. So as well, we are just using samples. So for now, I'll just close this one. If I import it, if it was quick, then I would enter it. But since we didn't import data, we are just using the sample data that was provided by Microsoft. So now how do we monitor our progress? Let's see. Now click on the indexes. Now we see an index exist here, hotel sample index. So remember before that there were no indexes available when we created this service. Now we have our own index available. Click on that index. So now here you can see that like the query string and request URL, everything. So now I will show you how to do a sample, a sample query using the Search Explorer. Before I go to Search Explorer, I will show you like a few more. I will share a few more details here. So click on fields. Here you can see everything. You see that like you can still uncheck and then save it here if you want like anything. You can do it only retrievable and other options you see that you cannot change it, but you can always delete and feel like and create a new index. Okay, so now let me use the Search Explorer and how to go to Search Explorer. So here you see that Search Explorer, click on Search Explorer. Then you can see like, we have only one available hotel index. If you have multiple, then it populates all the indexes available. But I will show you a sample query, how to do a sample query. So I will say search equal spa. That is my query string, search equals spa. So what it brings, like, this is simple full text query with the top and results. So search equal parameter is used for keyword search. So in this case, returning hotel data for those containing spa in any searchable field in the document. Let's see if anything populates here. So I will click on search. So here we have so many results received. Let's review one result. Let's see if it includes any spam. So here you see that hotel ID, this is 32, hotel name is Goldmoor Innings, and description is like AAA 4 Diamond Resort, nestled on 6 beautifully landscaped acres located 2 blocks from the park. And the description you can see that is everything category suite and free parking full. And you can see like where it exists, like it exists in Portland, Oregon, and we can see the complete address here and the rooms description, like standard room, two double bedrooms. And you see all the details here, the description related to that hotel. And we have another hotel that says Nova Hotel and Spa. So 1 mile from the airport, free Wi-Fi, outdoor pool, complimentary airport shuttle. And category, this is a resort and spa. Remember, we use the search equal to spa. So we're going to find all the hotels, like, those containing spa in any, like, searchable field in the document. Okay, so I will do another query. Let me use another query. So search equal beach and filter rating at 4. So let me explain. So this is a parameterized query. The and symbol is used to append search parameters, which can be specified in any order. So the $select parameter returns a subset of fields for more concise search results. And count equal true parameter returns the total count of all documents that match the query. So we can increase or decrease the amount of using this parameter, and Azure Cognitive, by default, Azure Cognitive Search returns the first 50 best matches. So just run this query and let's go to that top result. And here you can see that as the lady of the lake B&B and nature is home on the beach, and this is a luxury. And here you can see the rating 4.7. Remember we said like rating at 4. So this is a 4.7, and if you get all the details about the hotel rooms, everything. And like you can also you see that another hotel written Johnson's research, and you can see that the rating is 4.8. So this is how we use Azure Cognitive Search, and how we create a index and query using this search explorer. So I will talk about what we discussed in this module, what are all the topics we discussed, and at any time if you have any questions on this exercise or on this cognitive search service, please feel free to post in the comments, and I will try to reply as soon as I can. Okay, so let's go back to the items that we deployed and the items that we discussed in this module. So we talked about what is Azure Cognitive Search and how it works. We talked about the architectural diagram, and we talked about the workloads that's inside a search service, and we talked about why we use cognitive search. And after that, I showed you guys how to deploy Azure Cognitive Search service, and how to look for indexes if there are no indexes, and how to deploy that index. And we talked about how to import the data or how we can use the sample data. And we did we use Microsoft Azure sample data, hotel data, and I showed you how to create an index based on that hotel data, and how to make changes in retrievable, pasteable, or sortable. And once we create index, I showed you how to go and look at how to monitor that index, and how do we query using Search Explorer. If you have any questions on this Azure Cognitive Search, and please post them in the comment. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe this channel. Thank you.